TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico de Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning, good morning. I'm Paige Clarke. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural and wild world.
To recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms, I'm Nico de Haan.
It is 30 degrees, below freezing here in Florida. We just don't know what to do.
Oh, it's beautiful, though. It's clear skies, 30 degrees, chill in the air. Yeah, we love it.
Hope you're staying safe, warm, and dry where you are. Please make sure to subscribe to our Health Signals newsletter. Had a new one out this week. $10 a month, twice a month. You get it in your inbox with all kinds of clickable links to news you can use to stay healthy.
That's right. And also pick up our Primal Edge, our one-shot wonder, over 310 cell-ready ingredients, liquid ingredients, all made to service the body with the humic and fulvic acid, which lets the good stuff in.
And the bad stuff out.
That's right. And our phone number here is 877-927-6648. And we have a special guest coming up as soon as we connect with him.
That's right. We're going to have my friend and author and just phenomenal person, Bruce Pulver. He's the author of the great book, Above the Chatter, Our Words Matter. And, you know, Bruce has a great story behind this book, and I really felt that with us starting the new year, it was a great time to think about what we think about is what we bring about. And many times the words can really make or break us, and I think he has a great story behind the book. So we'll get back to that in just a minute. Maybe we do a little couple updates. I think Al's working on some technology issues to get Bruce connected, but...
Well, Bruce was, first of all, he, like many people, he was forced into this position of being creative and writing because of he lost his other job.
Yeah.
He'd been a musician before. He's a great critic for jazz musician, which is where I
think we talked to him about that a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed that on his bio, and I said, oh, is this the same Bruce Pulver? And I goes, yeah, it is. So that was pretty cool, but going back into history, before the written word, it was the spoken word that was the powerful, powerful thing. And then we sort of got into the writing thing where we put things on stone and later paper and parchment, and now everything's digital. But the words that we say to each other, and one of the things Bruce also points out, is the words that we say to ourselves have a dynamic impact on our whole being, spiritually, socially, everything. So your body doesn't really know if you're talking to yourself or talking to other people. So the bad things you say really impact you negatively.
You and other people, too. And as we've always said, and Nico and I have discussed this on the show, water has memory. And after all, we are 70 to 90% water, depending on who you talk to. So if we know that water has memory, how can the vibration of sound and our words impact us, whether we're speaking it to other people or speaking to ourselves? So I think we'll learn a lot about that. And so, you know, just to recap Bruce's story, he found himself in a downsizing situation in corporate America. And his comment was, and I love to read this to you, Guy, was, how can I maintain a positive outlook after being let go and forced to deal with the cruel reality of landing a new job, position, and career? This happens to a lot of people in our mid-life years, too.
Yes.
I know that. That it's a legal issue for a lot of people. It's you know, what's going on there. And so one morning he was awoken with a single message, and the word was strong, and he was able to create
an acronym
for the word strong, and it meant a lot to him. And to stand tall, remain optimistic, now go for it. And since that day, from that day on, that morning strong message, he has created a daily routine where words would pop in his mind, and he would create these these word anagrams, and it's just amazing. And
one of the things that he mentions too is that he was writing and he wrote little prose in the morning for 400 straight days, and that's how the book.
Well, that's
kind
what
of
he said.
formulated.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it was an inspiration. It was just like a download, is what I want to call it. You know, from another spot. So we'll be talking with Bruce about some of these, and I might get him to help me with one about head cold.
There you go.
How to get beyond it.
You can pick his book up on Amazon, and you can pick it up in the Kindle or the paperback version. Above the Chatter, Our Words Matter, and Powerful Words That Changed My World Forever. And I think we've connected with Bruce finally. We had a little problem with Skype, but...
well, that's okay. It gave us a chance to overview it. Are we able to connect? Bruce Pulver, are you there with us today?
Hey, Bruce, how you doing today?
How are you?
Hey,
hey
I hear
there,
you.
Bruce. All right, we made it happen, right?
Yeah, I think it might have something to do with the ice up here that in Atlanta that caused our Skype problem. But we're good, all good. Good morning.
Yeah, you know, that's what I remember when I was talking to you this morning driving in. Bruce and I were talking a little bit about how I enjoyed the ice storms and, you know, slid down the golf courses. Mm-hmm. He said the kids are still at it, and I remember school, electricity, everything's out. But we're glad that you're here, Bruce. We spent this first little segment just doing a little overview of your background, and we appreciate you being here. Real quick, I don't know if you were able to hear us while you're working with our technology. Can you talk to us a little bit about your background in music? Nico and I were wanting to share that with people.
Yeah, well, it is now an avocation, not a vocation. But yeah, I was really involved in the school programs growing up. You know, I'm from the Tampa Bay area, so I went to high school in Dunedin.
With me.
And that was sort of my genesis. My father was a New Orleans style Dixieland jazz drummer, and I grew up just listening to that music, and it sort of, I guess, oozed into my pores. And I pursued that for a couple of years in college, moved into a business school, finished a minor, that kind of stuff. But probably about maybe 15 or 20 years ago, sort of reconnected with my musical roots, and I have always loved writing. And so the way I was able to kind of get back into the music was started writing CD reviews for several online publications, which allowed me to meet a lot of musicians, Atlanta musicians, Nashville musicians, Austin musicians, etc. And that created a real sort of closed a void, I guess. I was really missing the music. So I did that for 5 or 6 years, and then my wife and I started hosting house concerts here in Atlanta, and we would bring in some artists from out of town and have dinner and live music in the house. And that's probably my most passionate part of music now, is seeing it live and being in some sort of room where it's live.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Sound frequency, music, it moves the body, and sound frequency is what we produce when we utter words. And I want to thank you for taking the time to write this wonderful book that has become an inspiration to people all over the world. Above the Chatter, Our Words Matter. And so, Bruce, just tell us a little bit more about how you use this book in everyday life, because it's just so inspirational.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much, and it was a gift to me to write, and so hearing feedback from folks where it has an impact on them is really sort of the full circle validation of that.
So hold on, we've got to take a short break. Bruce, we'll be right back. We're talking with Bruce Pulver. Above the Chatter, Words Matter. Let's learn how we can use our words to empower ourselves for a great 2018. Be right back in a few minutes, Bruce.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And welcome back to the show. Nico and Paige here, and we are with our special guest, Bruce Pulver, who wrote the book Above the Chatter, Our Words Matter. And in the beginning, you were just being cut off by the commercial describing how you started writing this book. So let's go on with that.
Yeah, so thanks again, guys, for having me on. And I was basically saying that, it's just great, the feedback that we're getting. But the book really, quite honestly, didn't start as a book. It started as a journal.
Okay.
And as I think you read at the very beginning, I was going through a job change, but the writing just sort of started one morning. And my dad was always a word guy, and my mom was always a real positive person. I mean, every day for her was a gift, and I talk a little bit about that in the book. And I think when I had this sort of what I call, when I talk about it, I call it my BAM moment, B-A-M. It's when, everything was fine, and then the next day everything's not fine. Mm-hmm. It kind of has a BAM moment or two in their life.
Yeah.
The words just started flowing to me each morning around the same time, just a single word, whether it's the first word on the cover of the book, which was strong, or another word that came to me was, Bruce Day is going to be awesome. And I just wrote the word vertically, and awesome became, a wonderful experience shall overwhelm my expectations. So what I tried to do with that then, what I tried to do with that then was use that word that day somehow, some way to find something awesome about it. In the, in what was my misery at the time, it was like, how can I make my mess my message, right?
Yeah.
And it turned into just a flowing 400 straight morning journal. So I used it every day just sort of as a trigger, or, there's so many great inspirational quotes, whether it's, Mark Twain or Abraham Lincoln or Benjamin Franklin or whomever, but I focused I needed something a little more simple, like a single word, and it just came, I can't really explain it except it was a gift and something I needed at the time.
Yeah.
And you really actually, this taking these words and breaking them down, actually bringing them alive is what you actually do. You explode the word into something very powerful, very moving. We're getting a lot of comments in the chat room. People are enjoying hearing about it. We had one comment, yes, the most important aspect is being able to have an empowering question, and question controls our thought in life. So I thought that was interesting that, you know, we can start to ask a question and then create our own answers.
That's kind of what my dad taught me.
How can I be so lucky?
Yeah, how can, well, he said, can I be this lucky, was the exact quote that he always asked himself, because he always felt he was lucky in every aspect of his life, from his children being born to retiring in Florida finally. But those are powerful things, and questions have always been in the back of my mind because of all my sales training to try to control conversations. But words really do matter, and they do really reflect who we are as a species, because we're the only animals that really have a vocabulary, so to speak.
Can I expand on that for a second?
Yep.
Please do.
That's 100%. One thing that I realized, and again, this is, you know, a period after writing this, is that if you look at yourself, you are the only person that not only hears every word you say, but every word that you think.
Yeah.
So, Nico, you were talking about your sales process, right?
Right.
And sometimes, and I'm in sales as well, sometimes you can't control the nature of, you know, the business you're pursuing, or the deal, or the proposal, or the
Right.
circumstances around it. But how you sort of control your mind and your thoughts about how you're going to approach something, you're the only one that ever hears those words. So one of the real simple examples is you can say to yourself, can I, with a question mark, or you can move the I to the front and make it an exclamation point and say, I can.
Right.
Now, that's not going to make the outcome change just by itself, so I'm not trying to say it's this magical
But
thing.
it does start the process.
However, absolutely.
Yeah, I've always taken that one word, whereas I love breaking down the words from ancient meanings and trying to figure out what exactly was the vibration that was coming out. And I always use that example, government means to govern the mind or control what the mind thinks. I think that's a pretty accurate description of the word. Whereas empowerment is I'm, EM, or I'm a powerful mind. What a difference in the message being sent there.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Well,
Certainly.
another thing, too, is I like your title, Above the Chatter, because we certainly have in our modern life now a lot of chatter.
Well, yeah, and I toyed around with a bunch of them. Quite honestly, I mentioned to you that this was going to be I don't know if I said this or not, but this was actually was going to be just a journal for my daughters.
Huh.
And the working title for it was A Wordy Dad, because, you know, they always ask me, Dad, are you still talking? But then I realized that, you know, there was a lot of noise, and where I was in this situation, I could have gone a lot of different ways. I could have listened to a lot of different things, but for some reason, the focus came internal on, look, you know, whether it's be strong, awesome, get ready, expect a terrific day was great, you know, GREAT. It was like, okay, if I pay attention here, then it sort of, by its nature, blocks out things that I don't want to be listening to, and I call that chatter.
Right.
So that's sort of the way I kind of focused on that.
Yeah, it's with our media, with all the stuff that comes across the tube, there is a lot of chatter, and I think it's harder and harder for people to get in the frame of mind of saying that I am in control and I know where I'm going, because there's so many things pulling on you. So how do people get above the chatter and really make them point themselves in the right direction, let's say?
I want to read one real quick right here that just hit me. Journey. Jump in, it's waiting for me. Open myself to new possibilities, using my gifts to give and grow. Remembering yesterday is gone? No promise. I will get to tomorrow. Expecting a great day today? Yes, I can, is the mantra. Go ahead, Bruce. I just wanted to just show people the power of these words that you.
Yeah. So you, Nico, I think you asked a question like, how do you do this? I don't think and again, it's just my approach, right? And I don't want to think that it's just to flip a switch. Right. I think it's a process, and you're right, it's a journey, or I call it my journey, Joyrney, as opposed to Jou.
Joy.
Again, don't spend a day in my mind. It's kind of crazy, but so one example, and I use it in the book, and this was more of a physical example than a mental example, was that I was encouraged to train for a run, a 10K race, and this was years ago. And I'm not really a runner. But it was a bet that I lost, right? So the payoff was, okay, Bruce, you have to run this big race in Atlanta called the Peachtree Road Race every July. And so I got out, got the shoes on, got the shorts, got to the end of the driveway, and I said, how am I going to do this? It's 6.2 miles, and I'm really not a runner. So the point here is incremental growth. So I looked to find something I could run to, and it was a mailbox, 100 feet up. And I just tried to go from one mailbox to another mailbox to another mailbox. So by the time you got to, 5 mailboxes, you're 500 yards.
Yeah.
And, every day I would repeat that, and ultimately I was, after a few weeks of training, I was up to, some mileage that meant something. But I didn't try to, so that metaphor there of physical is also sort of mental. It's like I think every day we have to try to think to find one little nugget.
Yeah, and I like what you said there, too, that the mental and the physical are really bound together. That we'll expand on that as we get back from the break. So stick around. We're here with Bruce Pulver, Above the Chatter. Our words matter, and we'll be right back.
That's right.
We'd like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
We're living a primal lifestyle and talking about important things with Bruce Pulver. And Bruce, we have a caller. Mark from Denver is calling in. Hi, Mark.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mark.
Bruce, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. So I just wanted to say there's so much in your book that I have enjoyed, and part of it comes very early on in the book. I have to tell you, I was touched by what a miracle it is that you are even here to share your wisdom with us through this book. And I'm wondering if you'd be willing to talk a little bit about, you call it your mother's broken heart. Would you be willing to talk about that and how it's such a miracle that you're even here?
Well, absolutely, Mark, and thank you for that comment. I'll make it as quick as I can. So you guys can do the math. 1961, my mother went into labor with me. I had an older brother, 2.5 years older, and when they rushed her to the hospital, what they ultimately determined was that she was suffering a dissecting aneurysm of her aorta during labor with me. So hence I say in the book, the day I was born, I broke her heart. But seriously, on that period of time, that many years ago, there was a survival rate of mother and daughter of 0%. So she was the first survivor who went on to live about 22 years after. So she passed away when I was 22. And the physicians who were there, fortunately we were in Connecticut. It was near Yale Medical Center, and there were 2 visiting physicians from Tulane who were working on research for the aortic valve replacement, and they were rushed over and were able to do some work on her, and we made it through. She saw me the first time when I was 6 weeks old.
Wow.
And I was blessed that she lived till I was 22, and kind of mentioned in the first segment that she was always a positive woman, so every time she woke up, it was a high five
Nice.
for, being blessed.
Yeah.
So thank you for asking that question. It's a big part of my life.
Oh, yeah, thanks for sharing. It's, like I said, it's just a miracle that you're even here, and that gives even more weight to our more reason for us to pay attention to the words that you've given us in this book. So thank you so much for sharing, and I just enjoyed your book immensely.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that.
Thanks for
Mark.
calling in, Mark.
Really appreciate it.
I think I hear this from people all over. I was lucky to get one of the pre-releases of the books and it's been it sits on my desk at my office, and one of my big mantras, because I really believe in the science of epigenetics above the genes, I believe that the work of Bruce Lipton, that be careful what you're saying, every one of your cells are listening. And so your work is cutting edge as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So,
it was a gift. So,
yeah.
Nothing scientific in it. It was just...
Well, thank you for
something in
sharing the
life
gift.
that
I mean, there are a lot of people that get these things and they don't take the time to share it. But if we could for a second, I'd love to go to that section. You sent me an email, and you were sharing with me some things that are kind of on your mind right now, kind of you've been perusing. And I thought it was really appropriate, being that it's a new year. You said your mind is bringing, and like you said, I'd really love to be in your mind, very active place. It keeps bringing you words and phrases that motivate you or open your mind to new opportunities and ideas. So you have a few you've been noodling over, and maybe, Nico, you can click on those, I think. The first one is do hard things. You want to talk to us a little bit about this one?
Yeah. So I'm fortunate also to have an amazing community around this book, the team that helped me. And if I can plug for a second, there's a group I worked with called On Fire Books Leadership Company out of Dallas. Tammy Kling, K-L-I-N-G, helped me and her team. And past couple of months, we've sort of been thinking about, if you really want to dig in and lean into something, right? It's usually hard, right? The easy stuff's the easy stuff, and so they came up with a kind of a topic we were kicking around. Says, we need to do hard things. It's important to focus on things that are hard. And so I took it and kicked it around a little bit, and I came up with my verse around do hard things, which you have up there on the screen. I can see. So it's just, again, a way to approach, what does that mean, right? So to me, it meant what I wrote down here about, I really think when you do hard things become easier to do.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like another approach is, or another thought there is, getting outside your comfort zone. We talk a lot about that. And so I'm kind of pushing my mind to say, okay, Bruce, how do you make your comfort zone being not having one, right? Being in the space where you're not comfortable more often becomes that could be a place where I could be comfortable. It doesn't mean that things are easy there, but it means I'm expecting things in that space and I'm ready to tackle them. So that will sort of do hard things.
Well, another thing that I think of automatically, the hard part of most things seems to be the psychological thing, the saying I can or cannot do it. I go back to Sunday morning, real cold out here in Florida. I was in the hot tub with my wife, and I'm jumping in the cold water. She thinks I'm crazy. But I told her, I said, it's psychological. Yeah, you're getting a cold, but you can opt to stay in there 1 second or 10 seconds or 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. It's the psychological things of doing things that make it difficult for us, it seems.
Exactly. And Al, if you could zoom back in so people can read the do hard things, I want people to look at that. But also, just as Nico said, I think about the whole idea that we know science shows that as we get older, we need to challenge our brain. In other words, teach our brain to do hard things, right, Bruce? And where we might be, as people get older, have some memory challenges. I think that is doing a hard thing. And all of these things that you say in this, the doubt melts away and opens you to new possibilities. Just like Nico said, jumping in the cold plunge, which we're a big fan of for mitochondrial health, opens the possibility of renewed, regenerated mitochondria. Hard work becomes easier, adversity is overcome, regrets go away, and you discover your toughness. Thoughts become actions. It helps find you increased opportunities, naturally strengthens, gets us out of ruts, and sets a new course. That's motivating, Bruce. That is really good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, again, it's just sort of a way for me to activate something that is somewhat. Some of these things are commands to myself. Mm-hmm. And, okay, so what does it mean? And if I do these things, what potentially is the outcome? So when I write them, I kind of think about not the drudgery of it, but the joy of accomplishing something like that. So
let's talk about the kick the can't. Yeah, let's talk about the kick the can't. That's the next one that you have. Did you have that one pulled up, Nico?
I think so.
Kick the can't, eliminating words from my vocabulary that end in int. Kick the can't. There you go.
Yeah. So anybody that plays a sport, or that there's one angle there, right? Or there's learning a new piece of music. Mm-hmm. If you don't, if you say I can't, or don't hit the ball in the water, if you're a golfer, where does it go? 80% of the time it's going to go right in the lake. Mm-hmm. So and you guys probably know a whole lot more about this than I do, but there is some psychology around the subconscious mind not being able to process, only being able to process a do. So if you say don't hit it in the water, all it hears is in the water, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have been thinking a lot about that. Can I versus I can. We talked a little bit about that already. But any words that end in apostrophe or end apostrophe T, to me, I just look at them and I go, shouldn't, wouldn't, can't, won't, are self-defeating just by thinking them.
That's right. But I can and I will and I am.
And we're going on a break, so we'll be right back.
We'll be back with Bruce Pulver.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated folic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. If you haven't tried David White's weekly investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, then this month is your perfect opportunity. On January 17th at 5 p.m., Dave will be hosting a special subscriber webinar where he'll be presenting on the newest feature in his newsletter, short-term sector charts that work on both the madness and wisdom of crowds. Join Dave on January 17th as he describes the method he uses to recognize these signals on a sector-by-sector basis, and as he discusses how he used this new tool to buy the gold miners in their seemingly darkest hour in December. And all new subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. If you're a trader scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity, then now is a great time to sign up for the Technology Insider. For all the information and for details on Dave's subscriber event taking place January 17th, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And welcome back to the show. Nico and Paige here with Bruce Pulver. We're reading the book is called Above the Chatter, Our Words Matter. And there's a great review here from High Point University. The president is saying that this isn't a book one reads. It's a reference library for daily motivation and constant inspiration. And I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the words forever change when you expand them like this, Bruce. Thank you so much for doing it. Let's go over this. One of the last things that's running around in your mind is the yes, I can. Talk to us a little bit about that, and then we want to hear what's next for Bruce.
Sure. So again, sometimes it's words, sometimes it's graphic. So I think you've got that pulled up there, and you kind of look at something. What does that mean? And then the yes, and then the eyeball and the can. So yes, I can came. It was one of the first words that is in the book. Actually, not one of the first written, but in the first chapter. And I can just say that with two daughters, both who are pretty active in sports, as you're learning new things, we just would kick around the idea of, if you try something new and you start with an attitude of, even if you have no idea how, if you just say to yourself, yes, I can, or I can do this, then you're setting yourself into a positive step of, anticipating and assuming that the outcome's going to be good, right? Yep. And yes, I can in our world meant you expect success in challenging activities now. And so I've worked with my daughters, and I've even do it myself, right, on a new proposal or a new venture or something I'm thinking about trying. You start with the yes, I can first. You may not know how, but it just sets the sails in the right direction.
Sets the tone.
Well, one of the things too that my dad taught me early on is that the journey starts with that single step, and knowing that life is a process, and the things that we do psychologically and physical are processes. So everything begins with that first step, and just knowing that process, not knowing the end. You don't need to know the end, and that's one of the valuable things that I got out of your book, is that you take that first step. Yeah, I can do it, and you set your sights on maybe the journey at the end is not exactly what you pictured it to be, and most of the times it isn't. So that's why I think yes, I can is a very powerful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. In chapter 12, it's called When the Batteries Are Low, Recharge. I certainly want to make sure that everyone also kind of, as we're thinking through this, understands that a yes, I can doesn't mean you're going to just blow it out of the park and be awesome at whatever you're trying, or you're going to fix whatever problem you have, whatever. because there are times when you're going to, in the middle of that process, hit a plateau, hit a setback, whatever. So be ready for that, and just the journey is you have a choice, right? We can choose to be victorious, or we can choose to be the victim. And I'm trying to sort of speak to, hey, regardless, of the circumstances, you are in control, and you can dictate what steps you take, even during the times of setbacks.
Sure, and a setback really is an opportunity for us to kind of reevaluate and go into maybe a different direction, or just hunker down and bear it out sometimes.
Absolutely. And it's a way to think about, you don't have to always go through the wall. Sometimes you can go over it, sometimes under it, sometimes around it. Sometimes you turn away and walk away from the wall. It's the best move. So
another one of your sayings here that we have pictured up is called "Why Not?" And I love that because why not? I mean, when I started anything particular that I thought was a challenge, I go, why not? I want to see what it feels like. And that's the most important thing for me, is to physically and mentally be in front of something and say, yeah, I did it.
Well, totally, right? If you don't try something, it's automatically a no. Right? So you're going to get there anyway if you don't try. Mm-hmm. The other thing that was inspired by that is, a lot of, everybody deals with something, right? And a lot of times there's the question, why me? Why did this layoff happen to me? Why did this diagnosis come this way? Why did that job not pan out? Well, why not me, right? Is another way to look at that, because that's just a little tweak in the road, right? You just go a different direction. So it's hard, and I'm not saying that this is easy to do, but it's something that over 400 days of consecutive writing, it's sort of ingrained in me to kind of be a working laboratory. My family says, you can't be in a bad mood, or you wrote a book about it, so
and
careful what you write, because you almost become that.
Well, you have to, in a sense.
How inspiring.
And the words that come to mind to me is what Kennedy said. He says, we do these things not because they're easy, we do these things because they're hard. Mm-hmm. That was an inspiration to me, to say, God, you're right.
I never promised it was going to be, that it's going to be easy. But it's...
at being in sales for as many years as I have, if it was easy, everybody, it's the rewards are going to pay off in the reward, right? The hard stuff, and that's just the way I guess I was raised in my family was, you get what you work for, and set your own bar, right? And you got to go.
Yeah, and there's another thing in sales, and we both connect with sales, is that there's a percentage always. And when you're cold calling, it's 1 out of 10, and if you get in front of a person and get a chance, it may be 3 out of 10. And once the person starts shaking their head yes, maybe it's 50-50. There's a percentage games that you always play in sales, but that's the same percentage that really works for just about everything.
Every no brings you closer to the next yes.
Yeah. Right, and it's not just sales. You're right. It's anything, right? So, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Bruce, I wanted to ask you. I know that you actually are a very busy speaker with the book Success, and I was hoping you could, how can people connect with you? Give us a little bit of information on what's coming, and how might they be able to get you involved in their events or so forth.
Well, sure. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been a gift, right? So the opportunities to speak have grown. I've been doing some civic speaking, so some kickoff New Year kind of things. I've done some corporate speaking, which is very exciting, whether it's individual leadership kinds of things, or coming in and talking to a group that is a team and they work together, and using this type of methodology of having others come up with their own word that they would use to, for their next month's, collections program or sales program or promotion program. I'm doing some association speaking in the healthcare business, and I'm speaking at several of the upcoming, general sessions just about this topic, about, just tweaking a little bit. It's not revolutionary stuff, but it's really thinking about our words. So I can be reached at email is BD, Bruce David Pulver, at yahoo.com. My website is the name of the book, Above the Chatter, OurWordsMatter.com. I'm active on, I've got a Facebook page, Above the Chatter, Bruce Pulver, Instagram, same thing. So I'm out there. I can be reached through the social media stuff or via email. And it's just, the objective here, again, is I was given a gift of these words at a time I really needed them. And it's my responsibility to make, to give this back in a way that is meaningful to others. And I'm doing that through, being hired for speaking engagements, corporations are buying some books. And every time a book is sold and partial proceeds of my talks, I am donating a book or a box of books to organizations that are helping others. Hospitals, homeless shelters, orphanages are all on my list, and who I've been giving books to, Ronald McDonald houses and such as that. So it's sort of the Tom's Shoes approach is what I'm trying to take, is trying to find places where this book can make an impact.
Well, we got to go take a break, Bruce, but we have one more segment. We want to continue the conversation with Bruce above the chatter. Your words matter. So we'll be back. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Welcome back. Talking to Bruce Pulver. Bruce, we're getting all kinds of great feedback in the chat room from our listeners. Great guests. Thanks, Bruce. Someone else said, that's why I do and I am successful. Another one says, I can, even when others don't know me, try to convince me that I cannot. So, Bruce, last segment, sweetie, give us some words of power and wisdom.
Well, thank you. And you know, bring on the naysayers. For the person who said the comment about folks who say no, it's like that's sort of sometimes the fuel, internally the fuel, right?
Yeah.
Be confident on the inside, humble on the outside is what my parents always taught me. But one of the things that I think is a powerful word for me, and it's in life and relationships and everything, is the ability to listen. And you know, we could probably do a whole segment on that. But yeah. I had someone in a conference I attended once that said, Bruce, let's pay attention to this. Are you listening, or are you just waiting to talk?
Yeah.
And that just sticks in my head all the time. So I wrote a word, listen, and listen, L-I-S-T-E-N, is lock into someone else's totally exciting news. So I think sometimes folks just need someone to listen. So this isn't all just about the me stuff of me launching and being, positive and everything, but sometimes there's some stuff in here that can really help, I think. How do you reach out to someone else? Because that's really how we can make a difference.
Yeah.
So listen was one.
Yeah, that really hits home with me. One of my sayings my dad had was that when you give your time to someone else, there's real value in that. And he says that's the most value you can give anybody is time spent with them and listening.
So, Nico, are we certain that we're not brothers from another mother?
That sounds like it.
I think so.
I guess another one I would say, and it's sort of an act. So a lot of these words are action-oriented. So one of them in the chapter, determination, which I call name it and claim it, is jump. Hesitating on something you want to do, just jump in. Mm-hmm. So that jump is just use major positivity. Just, you think you can, you can. You think you can't, you can't. You're both right. So
what you think about, you bring about, and you're exactly right.
And one of the most powerful things I get out of this is that this is coming from inside you. It's coming from inside me. It's not an external force like a religion or a political game or any kind of game. It's something that's intrinsic in you, and that's what sets you up for success.
Again, as I said at the very beginning, a gift to me that just started, it was flowing. It was like a river every day. And it didn't start that way. One day it's like, wow, that was scary. Second day was, ooh, again. Third day was, I don't believe in coincidences. And then, 400 mornings later, almost, my encouragement that I got to do something with this, it wasn't really hard to say yes to trying to make this a book because of the gift that I received through this process of writing and transition and kind of firming up my positivity. And the reason that, what is it, Mark Twain, right? The two most important days, the day you're born and the day you realize why.
Yes.
And I think part of this book is really my why, is bringing those things together of all the life experiences that I was fortunate and blessed to experience up until now.
Yeah, and that's really powerful because when you have something inside you that says, this is my purpose, that's a powerful thing.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And thank you, Bruce Pulver, for sharing that gift. And I want to ask you in advance, I know many of our listeners are going to run out to Amazon and get your book. And I was very impressed to hear of your double benefit. When you get a book, you're donating it to people that need these powerful messages. So I'm going to encourage all of you to support Bruce, buy his book. If you've got a big group, I think you can contact him directly for ordering the books in bulk. And Bruce, the ice storm kind of interfered with us being able to see you live in person on Skype. So we would like to invite you back in advance, perhaps on a regular basis, to keep us all thinking forward, because above the chatter, the words do matter.
Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it, and pleasure was mine, and it truly was an honor.
Thanks a lot, Bruce.
Talk to you soon, Bruce. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for sticking around, and make it happen.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.